Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Amphibia Season 1 Episode 4 Story Number 2, Taking Charge. And tomorrow, I believe, tomorrow I should be doing my first impressions of Big City Greens, since I did the first 2 episodes of that show. So I did. I kind of took a break from Amphibia, went to Big City Greens, now went back to Amphibia to do what I thought of Big City Greens so far, and then next week I might come back to Amphibia or stick with Big City Greens. Not sure, but yeah. Anyway, so this is gonna be the end of episode 4 of Amphibia, Taking Charge, and right here we have a good view of the planter's home. I'm not gonna tell how great it is again, because I already did that with story number 1. But yeah, so Hop Hop is reading his book, and Sprig is throwing Polly in the air, and Polly keeps on saying higher, higher. They're just having fun. And Anne screamed, and she's in the basement, and Sprig threw Polly really high. And Polly just lands on him, and Anne comes from the basement, and you see on her phone it says Suspicious Island. So you're probably gonna think it's about that. And guys, take a look at this, and Sprig's like, what is this? And she's like, oh, this is Suspicious Island. And it's like a reality TV show, and I must have it's a great show, and I must have auto downloaded it before I got here. And Sprig is like, who's Otto? And Polly's like, and how did you download him? Because it makes sense coming from them, because they don't know what technology is. And it's just watch. And I'm gonna play like a little recap. It's supposed to be like a recap of season 1, so I'll play a little bit of it.
I've got a lot of feelings about this place. Look, more ants.
They have noses.
I feel like everyone on this island is suspicious, Peruvia. Except you!
Randy, I think you're suspicious.
So basically those are little, and Sprig's like, oh, other ants, because he doesn't get they're humans, and Polly's like, they have noses. And he's like, oh, I forgot her name. Was it Brenda or something? Oh, Brenda, I think everyone's suspicious except for you. It's, oh, Randy, I think you're suspicious. And he's like, no. And he's like, oh, Suspicious Island. If you don't say suspicious, you won't survive. And Sprig, and look at Sprig and Polly, they're just mesmerized by it. And Hop Hop's like, what is this demonic garbage? And it's like, Hop Hop, it's a show with beautiful people doing dumb things while things explode. It's literally perfect. We should watch. And Sprig and Polly's like, yeah, we should watch it. We should watch it right now. And Hop Hop's like, wait, hold your horses. Instead of that nonsense, let me show you some real literature right here. And this is the play called the Shallow Pond, and I'm gonna play it.
Sadness. The world is sadness. But look, there, a pond. Is it deep or shallow?
Yeah, look, they are just not interested in it. But before he starts reading it, Sprig and Polly is like, oh no, because Anne doesn't get it, because she never heard him recite a play before. But Spring and Polly just like, we want nothing about this, and they're just like, suspicious island, and they get up in his face, and he's like everyone's dancing around like, yay, and Hop Hop's like, just one, and look, they did, and Spring, Polly, and Anne's eyes are glued to it. And here's the thing about Hop Hop. He didn't have to watch this. I mean, I guess he's the grandfather, so he wants to make sure it's appropriate. But if they watch multiple episodes, Hop Hop might have, gotten a grasp of the show, made sure, like, it was appropriate and stuff, maybe asked Anne about it. And, like, and he didn't have to stay and watch it. So, to me, as a viewer, or even a first-time viewer, by seeing him just sitting on the couch watching the show, is because he's into it. Or he would like to make fun of it, like one of the two. Because for the first 2 episodes, to make sure it's safe for Sprig and Polly to watch. Because, they're his grandkids. But after, like, who knows, like, 12 episodes? I'm trying to look at their eyes. Like, I don't know how many episodes. Because this is Nightfall. And how many episodes can you watch to like, Nightfall? So, I'm guessing 12 15 episodes maybe tops, so, but it could be more or less. So yeah, I think Hop Up might like the show, or likes to make fun of it. One of those people. And what was it? And there's these two characters, and what did he say? Vivica, I think that was her name. He's like, Vivica, these pterodactyls had the face of my brother, my dead brother. How does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't gotta read too much into the show. And Anne's like, oh, no way, like, oh, plot twist. And Hop Up's like, ugh, this is terrible. And the pterodactyls picked up, I think Vivica was her name, and he's like, no. And like, it's like, kind of like the whole total drama situation where you have the different teams and the different challenges and stuff. One's underwater, one's in a cavern, one's being carried by pterodactyl, one's crying. And it's like, oh, will these teams escape the island? Find next time on. And Anne pauses it. And Sprig and Polly's like, come on! And and this is pretty good. It's healthy, where she says, trust me, guys, you need to learn how to pace yourselves. It's better this way. And, and Hop Up's like, okay, you two buggers, I'll like go up to the bed. It's bedtime. And and Sprig and Polly are like, Sprig's like, how am I supposed to wait, what do you say? How am I supposed to sleep until I find out what happened between Vivica and Chad? And Polly's like, sleep is lame. I need to find out now. And Anne has that big smile, and she's like, oh, Hop Hop, how did you like the show? Better than that boring stuff. And and Hop Hop's like, that boring stuff, it's called literature, Anne. Which he has a point. Anne doesn't really have to make fun of him a little bit, where I'm trying to see, because I don't want her to backdrop into the back way of making fun of Hop Hop. I mean, she calls it boring, and I want to say that I'm used to do acting like a lot. I still do it a little bit, but I'm more into like the tech side and stuff. But I can do some scenes and stuff. I might get into it, so 50-50 sort of. And so I know like musical theater and theater isn't for everyone, so I'm not gonna knock a point off for Anne, because she might just not like it and she might think it's boring. So I kind of see that's understandable. But Hop Hop's like, that boring stuff is called literature, which he has a point. And if you have an ounce of culture, you wouldn't like quickly deny it and go straight to your garbage show. Calling a show, like, calling something boring is one thing, but to call it garbage is like another. So I think I have to knock a point off for Hop Hop for that, because you don't have to say that to Anne. Anne likes it, Sprig and Polly like it. When you don't like a show, you say like, I'm not into it, but you don't call it garbage. But when like a show is garbage, when you don't like something, you say like you do kind of like, I don't like it, but there's a lot of people out there where you and sometimes you do too, where like, oh, that season was the worst. You should still do it respectfully, because that's the most respectful way to do it. But we're people, but whatever. Hop Up slams the door, and Anne's like, "Woof, tell me how you real feel. Tell me how you really feel." And she yawns and she goes back into the basement, and you're very silent, and you see this shadow goes over the phone, and it says, it kind of like fades away where like you see blue lighting from like the phone illuminating the window. It's like, next time on Suspicious Island, if someone's watching the show, that shadow person. And that's it for clips. Sorry you had to be stuck in the house, but I'd say it's a pretty good looking house. But anyway, the next scene, as I remember it, is Anne comes from the basement with popcorn. I think she does, or maybe she comes from the kitchen. Yeah, she comes from the kitchen with popcorn and says, "All right, guys, time to get suspicious." Like in the morning, then she's gonna watch the show, continue it, and her phone battery is really low. And it's like, huh? Polly and Sprig is like, "What's going on?" And Hop Pop is like, "What's all the ruckus?" And he's like flipping like some, I forgot, was it like a pancake or some eggs or something? I forgot. But oh, my phone battery is low. Hey, who watched all these episodes? And you see kind of like a little face, kind of like, wait, never mind, sorry, wait. It was like, she's like, "Oh, no. Maybe it like kind of blacked out and showed this face kind of like an X for eyes, kind of showed like it's dead. That was a cool character design. And has a big like shocked face, and like she's like, "It's gone." And Sprig is like, "What's gone?" Like everything, my pictures, my text, everything, my videos of my cat. Because remember the domino effect, which was actually the story before. Not all my memories from home are gone, which is kind of important to Anne because she's a 13-year-old girl, and that's like the world to her. That's the world to her. That she has her phone, and also she's in a different place, and it's kind of familiar to her. So this is kind of be a problem, like, at least for her. And and she's like, Lily breathes heavily, and Sprig is like, you'll kind of be trying to be a good friend, like there. That's what you usually do when you don't know what you're doing, usually. And Anne goes judgmental, like, "Oh, was it you?" And Sprig is like, "Wait, no, I didn't watch anything. It must have been Polly." And Polly's like, "What?" And Sprig's like, "I even heard her get up in the night. Very suspicious." And Polly's like, "I needed to pee. And plus, if you heard me, that means you were up too. You're the suspicious one." And the Sprig's like, "Don't change the subject." And Polly makes a good point, like, wait. What about Hop Hop? And Hop Hop still with the frying pan, cooking the whatever he was making, the breakfast. And he's like, "Oh, me? In case you've forgotten, I despise that garbage." Again, he called it garbage. You don't do that, but whatever. Polly makes a good point, like, "Exactly. You must have ran down the phone, so we had to listen to your boring play." Again, calling something boring is different from calling something trash. Just saying. It's like, Hop Hop's like, "That's ridiculous," and Anne's like getting frustrated, like that's enough. If you guys aren't gonna help me figure out who did it, or if you're not gonna sorry, whatever, I don't know what this is. What's in here? Where'd it go? Sorry, does it go? Fly or something. And I do not want to edit that out because I want to get this video done. So hopefully the fly or whatever leaves me alone. Anyway, hope the sound wasn't too loud for you guys. This is right by the microphone. Let's see, what was I talking about? And it's like, that's enough. If you're not gonna fess up who did it, at least you can do is help me recharge my phone. Yeah, and Hop Pop's like, that's fair, Anne. So how do we bring this back? How do we bring this thing back to life? Magic, life sacrifice. I have a guy in town. Hop Pop, some crazy people, and it's like we need some power, electricity, and Sprig, Polly, and Hop Pop is like, what? So because they're mundane, they don't have electricity and stuff. They use mushrooms for lights and stuff. So and fireflies. So it makes sense why they're like, what? And it's like, zap zap. And Hop Pop's like, zap zap. Ooh, I know what you're talking about. Quickly to my study. And he goes to this book and he's like, oh, there are tales that say a creature called the Zapapede. It's a pretty good looking picture in the book. And legends say that it lives in the peak of a mountain. Well, they live in a peak in the mountain, and it zaps its prey with a bolt of lightning. It is actually pretty cool. And and it's like, oh, well, how long is the journey, HP? And Hop Pop's like, don't call me HP. It's like a day and a half's journey, and that's no problem for this gang. And does like a little point, and Sprig kind of like slaps it away, like, oh yeah, well that's what was his name? What was it, Chad? I don't know the names. That's exactly what Chad said before he became a backstabber who backstabbed someone in Suspicious Island and doing the fingers and and Hop Pop's like, well, watch where you're pointing, boy. And Polly's like, I would never Chad backstab you guys, but one of you two would. And Sprig's like, hey, when one finger points, two fingers point back. And Polly's like, she doesn't have any fingers. Like, this is confusing. And it's like, hey, you're all suspicious. Just look at you. And I wish I could show the image, but they all look suspicious. So, and even Hop Pop has even Hop Pop has this suspicious face. So even he's a suspect. So even him saying that is preposterous that he looked on the phone. If he didn't do it, then he shouldn't have that face. So basically, he's a suspect also. So he's in the wheelbarrow. Anyway, I really liked it where they are walking on. They didn't take Bessie with them, so I guess they're gonna walk. And they're walking the mountain, the cliffside, and Sprig has his fiddle, and he has a he has a song about, oh, the tales of Suspicious Island, Vivica, Chad, and Bradley, so hot, So I mean, so that's kind of like a little tidbit that either Sprig just likes how the character design looks, or he likes boy frogs. I don't know. I mean, of course I know, but I gotta tell you guys. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, thought I heard something. Anyway. What was I saying? Alright, Sprig was singing a song on the fiddle, and Hop Pop's like, shush boy. There it is. There's the Zapapede. I wish I could show you, but I can't. But it looked really cool. It had like a plus and minus on the eyeballs, and they had like these horns that conduct electricity and stuff. And it's like, oh, this is bridge. We need to go one at a time, or it will snap and break. And Sprig goes first. Then Hop Pop, and then Anne, then Polly. And then Sprig yawns, and Hop Pop's like, huh. And Anne's like, what is it, HP? I'm not sure if Hop Pop said, don't call me HP again. I forgot. But he's like, oh, look at Sprig over there. He seemed really tired. He's really suspicious. And Polly's like, the old man is a lying snake, but I agree. And and Sprig just looks over your shoulder, and it's like, are you guys talking smack about me? And Polly and Hop Pop are like, no. And Sprig looked at Anne like, Anne, psst, over here. And Anne's like, ugh. And the Anne just Sprig's like, come down here, and Anne just bends down, and Sprig just looks at Hop Pop and Polly, and Sprig's like, Anne, I want to find out who did this as much as you do. Let me help you. And Polly's like, aha, you're trying to Chad into trusting you. And Sprig is like to Polly, you're trying to Vivica and then not trusting me. And then Polly's like, oh, look at Hop Hop trying to Randy himself out of this one. And Hop was like, I don't even know what that means. And and Hop Hop, Polly, and Sprig are all together, and comes together also in the middle of the bridge, and it breaks. And you see in this pit, it's full of Zappapedes and stuff. And it's like, oh, there's a lot of Zappapedes, so let's form a human chain and get down there and charge the phone. And it's like, oh, really? Just like Vivica did, like, in episode 11. And Polly's like, are you trying to say you're calling me a Vivica? And Sprig's like, maybe. And they just start, attacking each other. And Hop Up are trying to break them up. But, Polly's doing, like, a rope arm burn on Sprig's arm. And Sprig's doing a wet willy and Polly, and Anne's trying to break up the fight, and Sprig accidentally kicks Anne, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, Anne, you okay?" And Anne like rolls up her sleeve, and she, starts attacking them also, and Polly has Sprig's leg locked. Like she's holding on to Sprig's legs, and the Anne is like holding on to Sprig's neck, and Hop was like, "No, kids, stop fighting! It was me!" The big surprise, and everyone's like, "What?" And Hop was like, "That's right. I watched the rest of the episodes, every single one." And Anne's like, "Wait, but you hated Suspicious Island," and Hop was like, "Hated it? Hated it? I loved it. When I went to bed, I couldn't just stop thinking about those crazy kids and their crazy island. I just couldn't get enough." So you see him under the you see him behind the door where Polly went to go to the bathroom, and under the table where Sprig went to get a drink. That's why he was up, and he's acting like a creeper. And he just has the phone, and he's like, "I thought one would be enough, but Suspicious Island had his hooks in me, and I just had to watch all of them, and before I knew it, I watched the entire season." It was like in the flashback, and with dawn approaching, so he didn't get any sleep. Or at least he got a little bit because I was having hallucinations about the show. And I just with dawn approaching, I had to cover my tracks. And you hear Anne say, "All right, guys, time to get suspicious." And you see Hop up on the ceiling, crawling on it, backwards. It was pretty funny. And you kind of hear the lightning flash, and it goes into fade into the Zappapedes, kind of making sense because Zappapedes conduct electricity, so it makes sense like that. And Anne and Polly whoa, and Space what a twist, and because it was kind of like a twist, and Hop Up does the brave thing right here and the right thing sort of, where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna make this right. Grabs Anne's phone. He's like, I will redeem myself, and he jumps into the pit, and the kids are like, Hop Hop, and they look at him, and they're like, oh, don't worry, kids, I'm fine. And Hop Hop's on top of all the Zappapedes, and Hop Hop's like, actually, it's pretty nice, and he keeps getting zapped 4 or 5 times, and it was just hilarious. And it's like, oh guys, no, we gotta go save him. He can't last much longer, because he's 68, I think, 67, 68. I still can't remember, but he's a really old man, so he can't last much longer. We need to make a human chain or a link chain, and Sprig has his tongue wrapped around a log. And Polly is holding on to Sprig's leg, and Anne is holding Polly's little finger. And they go down there, and Anne's almost got it, and grabbed Hop Hop's foot, and Anne's like, wait a second, because when you make physical contact with electricity, it passes through you, and now Hop Hop's getting zapped, Anne's getting zapped, Polly's getting zapped, and Sprig is getting zapped, and you see the skeletons. It was really funny, and they just skyrocket out of there. and you see them like on on the ground, because they were on a mountainside, so they went all the way down to the forest, and they all looked like burnt and stuff, like with soot everywhere. And Hop Pop has Ant's phone, and it says like 10,000%. And I'm not gonna dock it a point because it doesn't make sense, because maybe the phone's adapting to the world, and because this is like actual electricity going into the phone, it's kind of reading it differently than just having a phone charger only going to 100. So 10,000%, not docking it. I'm not gonna dock a point off of it because it sort of makes sense because it's in a different world. And Hop Pop's like, holy smokes, that's a lot of percents. And with the static poofy hair, it's like, oh, so you love Suspicious Island, huh? And Hop Pop's like, yeah. And I'm sorry that I drained your magic box and drained your memories. Can you forgive this silly old frog? And Anne makes a good point, like, dude, you just risked your life to recharge my phone. We're square. And like Anne and Hop Pop like have the they're touching each other's shoulders, like a little like group huddle. And Sprig and Polly's like, oh, that's sweet. And Polly's like, I'm really glad that I wasn't gonna drop you off the bridge. Well, not the bridge, but like where they're gonna do the link chain, like I was planning to. And Sprig's like, me too, Polly, me too. Kind of like the brother sister moment where they were gonna betray each other. Because in a time like this where it's kind of new, I'm not gonna dock a point off of either, because where it's like new stuff where you're suspicious all the time, you make drastic decisions. And and Sprig and Polly learned a lesson. Like, I'm really glad I didn't do it. So that's really cool. And Hoppa's like, all right, enough dilly dallying. We need to get home so you guys can catch up. Because if I don't talk about the season soon, I'm gonna explode. Because it actually turns out in the season that the Suspicious Island is mainly about is no spoiler. And the episode ends right there. And whew. So that was Amphibia season 1, episode 4, story number 2. That was the rest of episode 4, Taking Charge. And I would say I would give that I don't like it that a Hop Pop called it a garbage show. You don't have to like it, but calling that, there's no need to do that. But the gags were really funny. The fighting was kind of funny. Hop Pop sneaking off to watch the show. I mean, maybe if you went to Anne's base and hey, I secretly like the show, can I watch the rest of it? And then maybe Anne could have said yes or no. But Hop Pop snuck around and he watched the show without asking because it was Anne's phone. It was Anne's property. And he redeemed himself because he said he's gonna redeem himself. So I say he redeemed himself in that episode. So I would give that an 8 out of 10 because Hop Pop calling a garbage show and him stealing Anne's phone to watch the episodes without Anne's permission. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. So episode 4, I would give it a, let's see, the Domino Effect was a 9 out of 10. Taking Charge was an 8 out of 10. So 8.5. Yeah, episode 4, season 1 is 8.5. Above average. Wasn't perfect. Good episode. And tomorrow we're gonna be doing Big City Greens. They're gonna be talking about the first 2 episodes and what I think of the show so far and stuff. And next week, not sure what I'm gonna be doing. I could go back to Amphibia, or I could continue with Big City Greens, or I could start the Owl House, or Hilda, Carmen San Diego, or I don't know. But I'm really liking that I'm doing Big City Greens and Amphibia, and I'm gonna talk about DuckTales and why I'm not gonna be doing reviews on that show anymore, because I'm gonna do a whole video about that because I owe it to you guys because some of you liked it. So maybe I should talk about a little bit right here where I'm basically not gonna review it because I kind of want to talk about it in the video, but it's just that how am I supposed to explain it? I actually I don't know what I'm gonna do in that episode because like I don't know how to explain it where I'm just not gonna do reviews for that show anymore. I think it's something to. I'm trying to remember. I think it was something to do with the clips that are available to me. That there are not much because there are 3 seasons for DuckTales, and there was a particular season where there is not enough clips, and I don't want to like disappoint you guys like maybe like halfway through. So I just got rid of the DuckTales stuff entirely. But I'm gonna talk about more in that episode. Who knows when that will come out? But yeah, I'll talk about it later then. But everyone. What did you think of Amphibia Season 1, Episode 4, Story Number 2, Taking Charge? And everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow with Big City Dreams. Bye.